Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Done. 120.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Let's go.
They run with Ajayi. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And Jeffrey's got it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Here's Ajayi. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
There we go. Back. Waiting.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. 20.
Now it's a giant. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. On the defensive side, these are the starters for New Orleans. This unit 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down.
Here we go. Waiting.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On is Josh Lambo for the field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Lambo will put this one through. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambo to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Gun.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that have first-round grades on him.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brandon Graham in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again, 3rd and long now.
Set! 3-19!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now. Out of the gun. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Shotgun now for Wentz. Quick hitter here is complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. First connection there of the afternoon for those 2, and it's good for a 1st down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Come on now, let's go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Now, he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Tailback, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
To throw his wins, and that is incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
With their lack of pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league. So there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It's It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now a play fake here on 1st down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Now a play fake. Wentz. He's going to wind up in it. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A gain of 39 that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Wentz now to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field.
And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Now let's go. Blue, line it.
the shotgun. He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
They're going to look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And out now come the Eagles. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
3 down. 20.
They'll start out on the ground with a giant. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats, but really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
There we go. Back man. 280.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's the linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the gun on third down, Wentz drops it off to Ajayi. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
There we go. Back man. 280.
Working from the gun. Wentz over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, and it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he'll be taken down, but not before it gets into enemy territory. And a gain there of 11 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Credit the tackle to Kurt Coleman.
And when the defense wins and gets up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Collins. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. From midfield, here's Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Eagles send out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle to Smith. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Complete. Smith has it. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that's caught by Smith. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He'll look to throw, and he fires one incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And now it's 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Back to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, You've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Not to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Eagles send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And it's fielded at the 34. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. The Saints in the hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
Gone! 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 Gone!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Lloyd. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lloyd. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, and it's the Titans out in front in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Marcus Mariota. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And it's the visiting Washington Redskins who have the lead in that one. Alex Smith with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. Josh Rosen has a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. And the Panthers looking pretty good. Their lead growing even further. And I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. His way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
To throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Saints on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. This is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. They'll begin the drive with a J. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The Eagles on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy. Easy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he rifles one incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Here we go now. Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Smith catches left side. The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
319! 319!
He'll drop to throw. And he locates Josh Hill, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. First time they've looked his way in this game, he comes through picking up the first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
This quarterback now 9 of 17 through the year. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Play action. They'll throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Gun! 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 Gun!
He'll look to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Will Lutz on for the point after. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead is now 10-3. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Lutz now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Wentz to throw. To the middle, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down. Here we go. Waiting.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They run again with a jive. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Here we go. Back. Waiting. What's done?
And on the ground they go with a running back. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here we go now. Green.
And they'll run it here. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Zadarius Smith able to get him down. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Set. 319. 319.
Now they try the right side here. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Now a handoff looking right. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Run play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. An Eagle 1st down. Wentz to Ertz.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Throwing now is Wentz. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st is Wentz. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now let's go. Blue line.
Looking to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brandon Graham able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Here's Carson Wentz now and the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
20.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Going right side here, and that's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Wentz now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Caught right side, it's Jeffrey. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Lambo will put this one through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll check on his status when we get back. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Escaping the pressure right. And some room to maneuver. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throw left side, complete. That's Lloyd. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go! All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Now let's go! 319! 319!
That one looks like he'll throw here. Thomas has got it. Complete. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. It's a quarterback sneak. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realized there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a
that's
little
skeptical about it, or did you
skeptical.
trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Saints, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals.